Well, I've been a martial artist for the past 10 years, and I was wondering, do you guys ever encounter any frustrations or difficulties in any sort of training you guys did, and if so, you got any advice for them?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know martial arts, so obviously there was a learning curve for me. But luckily for us, we had a really great stunt team, and these guys were always there to help me. Like, they were like, you know, Steve, all of them, they would help me with kicks and punches. But I think everybody, like, just being, you know, in life and being, especially in Hollywood and going to different auditions, you always experience some sort of frustration because you get a lot more no's than you get yeses, you know? So, I mean, it's just mental, like, it's like mental toughness. You gotta really, like, not worry if you get the job or don't get the job, and you just got to keep it moving, you know? That's kind of how you have to be.
One of my experiences was that doing martial arts for so long and doing it for competition, and in the competition world, I was doing pretty good. Yeah, we do. Woo! RDK, baby!
Red Dragon Karate, we come from the same school.
When I got in front of the camera, it was totally different. Doing martial arts for film was entirely different, and I hated being told that I wasn't doing it right. Because I was like, do you know who I am? I do this very well. And they were like, no, you're not doing it very well. So it was frustrating, but we had great choreographers and whatnot, so it worked out.
I didn't have very much martial arts training. I learned a lot when I was on the show, and I loved learning what I learned. And watching Johnny doing flips off burns and flying. I was like, what? And Jason and Steve, it was amazing. My experience, I just had a lot of fun, and I wouldn't stop until I learned what I was supposed to learn.
Who was at AFO last year? Anybody? I know I see some AFO people, AFOs in Orlando. We have the AFO people right over there. Karen and Eric, there they are, running AFO. I was there last year. I bring this up because talk about training. Injuries are going to happen, okay? And you got to power through your injuries. Don't be like me. I'm like those stupid when it comes to injuries. But the day I went to AFO, that night I had surgery on my arm, so I had a distal bicep tear. And so they cut my arm and put, and I had to be there for my fans, so I showed up anyway. I was so distracted because I was supposed to start my MMA career back then, and I didn't. But I'm glad to go to AFO this year and already had 5 MMA matches. You got to power through all your injuries. When someone tells you it's not going to be done or you can't do it, it's all in your head. I remember I broke my foot skydiving because I skydived, snapped all my tendons off my bone, everything. And the doctor said that I'm losing 60% of my foot, and like foot movement. So I called my brother up. He's like, I'm getting you out of the hospital. My brother was a little crazy. So I'm like, sir, you can't take me. He's like, yeah, I'm taking my brother. He picked me up, kicked down the door. The door was like alarm. He's like, it was some hokey little hospital. Then he transferred me up to Valencia Hospital. But I overpowered that, and I have like 95% of my foot back. I mean, you just gotta. When it comes to injuries, you can't be like, I get frustrated, because it sets you back. But I say that's the advice. You're gonna train, you're gonna have injuries. And when you have an injury, you can't, take care of it, but, don't be like, an injury for years. You know what I'm saying?
Some of my frustration when it comes to training is just mostly in working new techniques and not being able to get to where I want to be right away. It's just a matter of keep maintaining it. You keep trying until you get better. I remember when before Jason came into the show, I had a pretty good jumping, spinning back kick. And all of a sudden he came on, he was like, I was like, I gotta get better at that.
Training martial arts for a long time, it's like anything, You just have to keep doing it. It's like if you shoot basketball, if you shoot 3 shots, you might miss all 3 of them. But if you shoot 100 shots, you're going to make a lot more. You're also going to miss a lot more, but you'll make a lot more.
Yeah, my biggest frustration in my training is there's this one guard, man. He will not let me alone. I will cut him. Cut him. Next question! Last question. Last question. This is the last question you will ever ask, man. Ever.
It's very good.
I want to
to know if you guys think that, like, maybe 10, 15 years, you think there'll be, like, a Power Rangers reboot movie, kind of like they did, like, Transformers, like, they make it...
I already asked that question.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you guys say? I missed it.
I don't know. You never know. It's you know, now that Savano's in it again, who knows? But you know, the only way I would ever do another movie is if these guys all signed on to do it too.
I don't know if you can squeeze me into that outfit again. So fetching, especially the fish mask.
You know what? You guys are still fans, and as long as there are still fans, somebody's going to do Power Rangers. You know? That's what happens. Now, whether or not they'll do it well is another question.
This goes till 12, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, we got more time.
Yeah, we got
We got more time.
Oh, we got more time.
There you are.
Oh, you look great. Love you.
Again, considering that I didn't get to do the series, I left after the pilot, I would absolutely love it. Nothing more. I would love that opportunity. So make it happen, guys.
Let me just say something real quick, and I hate to go back to a somber note, but just so you all remember, I mean, I know we just did like kind of a remembrance for Tweed, but we also lost Richard Gianelli, who was Ernie, and Ernie was, oh, that was a while ago. Yeah, and he was the, you know, Ernie ran the juice bar, and we had a lot of good times with him as well. I didn't want him to go unremembered.